So today it is the big game on the sidelines of the Asia Cup scheduled draft that's saying that there will be two dates where India versus Pakistan will happen in the main Asia Cup. In the emerging Asia Cup now we are seeing India versus Pakistan today at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, and the latest news is that Pakistan have won the toss and they have chosen to bat against India. Now remember, in the last two games that India have played against Nepal and against UAE, they have chased. The bowling has done the initial bit of the hard work, and that is why now you're seeing that once again, India versus Pakistan. Pakistan choosing to bat, maybe it is their stronger suit. India chasing could be their stronger suit. So, India are already in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
But this is the final. This is, you may say, the semi-final before the actual semi-final,
Exactly.
if you have to look at it. So Pakistan A and India A have been really, really dominant, and that's why you're seeing that these two sides are right on top in this
Yeah, in
Asian
fact-
emerging championships.
Yeah, if you go by the tables, in Group B, India A are top, Pakistan are second, and Nepal and UAE are yet to notch a point.
Yeah.
They'll get a point, or one of them will get off the mark when they play each other, which is, of course, basically at this point, playing for pride.
Playing
Because
for pride,
India,
yeah.
Pakistan both have qualified. This match is just to determine who finishes on top of the group. And remember, in Group A, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh have already qualified from there as well. Afghanistan a little bit on the unlucky side.
Yeah, they lost to Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. So that's why, yep, whoever wins this, they'll be on top, and they'll take on Bangladesh in the semi-final, and whoever finishes second, they will take on Sri Lanka. So that is the situation that we have. But at this point in time, let us just figure out who have been the best performers for India in this emerging Asia Cup. Because you saw Yashdul, the skipper, score a century. And remember, Yashdul not picked by North Zone in the Dulip Trophy. So he has a point to prove, and that's
Exactly.
why he stepped up with a brilliant century against them. Then you've got the likes of Dhruv Jurel, Abhishek Sharma, who have done well. Remember, Dhruv Jurel was one of the stars for Rajasthan Royals in the IPL. Abhishek Sharma showed some class with the Sunrisers Hyderabad, but then unfortunately was not consistent. But in the first game, he was really, really good.
Yeah.
And that is why, if you look at the bowling also, Nishant Sindhu has been superb with 4 wickets. And if you have to look at all the other things, Manav Sutar, Harshit Rana, they
Harshit
all-
Rana and Hunger Gaker rather have been your picks of the pace bowling department.
Pace
Both
bowling.
of them have been really good and consistently among the wickets. And in fact, we have the playing 11, so I'll just read that out for you
Yeah.
guys. Obviously, you're opening with Sai Sudarshan and Abhishek Sharma, no surprises there. Nikin Jose is your number 3. Yash Dhul follows. Riyan Parag at 5. Nishant Sindhu, Dhruv Jurel. Then you have Manav Suthar, Harshit Rana, Nitish Reddy, and Raj Hunger Gaker.
Rajwardhan Hungargagar. So no major surprises that is there in the Indian team. They were going to stick with the same core.
Exactly.
Manav Sutar has been in good form in the emerging Asia Cup. He's been taking wickets consistently. Harshit Rana and Nishant Sindhu. But if you look at it, Nishant Sindhu has actually not gotten much chances for CSK when he's played. He just played a couple of games for them in 2 seasons. But here, 4 wickets that he picked in the game against UAE, that was really, really good for him. And that's why it's a good sign of India's fast bowling and spin bowling options which are there in the emerging Asia Cup as well.
In fact, Harshit Rana in recent times has been having a bit of a sudden rise because, again, you'll remember he was only part of KKR as like a replacement player
Yes.
almost. He did well in the second half of the season. Then, in a domestic match, he even scored his maiden ton.
Yep.
As a bowler, he
Yeah.
scored a ton in a first class game.
And he
he's-
impressed with his pace. I mean, you remember
Yes.
one of the matches, I think it was against the Gujarat Titans.
even against LSG, he was clocking 148.
145, 148. So that is why it's a big, big achievement that Harshit Rana. See, remember, this emerging Asia Cup, whatever you may look at it, it is the test of India's talent pool when you have to look at the bowling and the batting.
exactly.
Remember, 2023 ODI World Cup afterwards, there's going to be a new era. And it is based on these performances that you're going to pick out your next pool of great players. Remember, Shubman Gill and all the others came out through that, and that's why it is going to be very, very interesting. Whereas
We have Pakistan's lineup also. And remember, this is a Pakistan team that, aside from it being emerging, there are a couple of players who've actually played international cricket here. So
Yeah.
the
Saim Ayub,
Sam Ayub is their skipper.
Hasibullah, then Mohammad Haris. Remember, Mohammad Haris has played international cricket for Pakistan.
Kamran Ghulam fourth, then you've got
Saib
Saibzada
Zada.
Farhan, Umar Yusuf, Qasim Akram, Musabir Khan, and then where you're talking about, see, you have Mehran Mumtaz, no, but Mohammad Wasim Jr. and Shahnawaz Dahani. These are two fully fledged internationals.
Remember, Shahnawaz Dahani played in the Asia Cup also. Mohammad Wasim Jr. has been
Quite
very
impressive.
good. Yeah, in the test matches that he's played. That's why he's not here. He may probably be your white ball bolter for Pakistan when the ODI World Cup happens. So, Mohammad Wasim Jr., remember, impressed in the T20 World Cup as well as in the Asia Cup. Remember, his round arm slingy action kind of gives him tremendous reverse swing. So, one of the players to watch out for Pakistan. Remember, Pakistan are playing. The senior team also coincidentally are playing a test series in Sri Lanka, and at this time Pakistan are
very
dominating.
much in favor on top. They could very well be winning this test match.
So it's simple. Whoever tops this match, whoever wins this match will be on top of the table. They will take on Bangladesh in the semi-final. The second place team will take on Sri Lanka. And remember, you've seen at the R. Premadasa Stadium that traditionally it's been a slow, low deck, and that's why as the game progresses, if you look at it, it has become better to bat on. So, what is the logic behind Pakistan wanting to bat first?
Yeah, I don't understand either, especially when you consider the fact that a lot of the young gen Indians, especially those who are coming up in the era of T20 cricket, actually prefer chasing.
And in the Virat Kohli era. Remember, Virat Kohli was the ultimate chase master.
He redefined what it was to chase. And so truth be told, a lot of these guys are very comfortable chasing. So I didn't understand if you factor in what Sid said, where he said that it gets easier to bat on as the game goes on. And the fact that you won the toss, I would have picked bowling first every single day. But maybe they're just backing their strengths.
Yep, maybe. So, see, Pakistan also have good pacers. I mean, Mohammad Wasim Jr. and Shahnawaz Dahani, they are excellent pacers. And the spin department also has stepped up. That is why they are in the top two. Yes, also helped by the fact that UAE and, if you may look at it, all the other teams are not much of a match, especially when you look at the A side that is coming up. India's talent pool, I mean, look at it. Nishant Sindhu, Riyan Parag, they are all actually
consistent domestic and
IPL veterans if you look at it. So IPL, if you have to look at it, it has given them the launching platform, but whether it is a direct call-up for the India team, that is a different story altogether.
No, I think none of them are getting direct call-ups yet, but I think they're going to be in and around the scheme of things because again, there is a dearth of, let's say, there's a need to increase the bench strength. So I think if you're looking at these players, you're looking at how it is they perform in these tournaments, and you might very well be including them in the B tours. Remember, Ireland when I say B tours, I mean the B-side tours.
B-side tours.
So basically, Ireland is coming up. You know, for the fact that is going to be one where it's going to be a significantly, toned down in terms of you're not going to be seeing any of your big stars for Ireland.
Exactly.
So you could very well be one of those series where you see a couple of players suddenly get shot up. You don't really know.
Because remember, the ODI World Cup after this, you got 5 matches against Australia, T20Is, and you got 3 T20Is against South Africa in South Africa. You may not want to test your bench strength there.
You're not. I think ideally, if you're looking to test your bench strength, it's Ireland or nothing. Because again, if you're looking at the amount of T20s that you have, West Indies, you know for a fact you're taking a very second string team, but that's also because you're not taking your quote-unquote ODI players. Ireland is the only one because the Australia series which we're referring to is after the World Cup. So after the ODI World Cup, then there's not going to be much stock placed on ODIs. At that point, you're only going to be looking at how you fare in the shortest format, which is T20. So Australia and South Africa, I would be surprised if there's a lot of experimentation. I think you're going to be playing with that core side, hopefully, because again, you have maybe 4 months, November, December, and November is pretty much going. So December, Jan, Feb, and then come March, April.
Because Jan, Feb also you got an important assignment against England. So whether you want experiment, but remember, India did make 2 debutants in the last time England toured. That was Ishan Kishan and Suryakumar Yadav.
Yeah, but see, the difference here is that Ishan Kishan and Suryakumar Yadav were already kind of players who were already earmarked. You knew, like Sky was at that point very much an IPL veteran. Had 2-3 seasons where he became impossible to ignore. Even with, Ishan Kishan, he was someone who was always earmarked because you needed that explosive batter, top of the order. So fair. I don't think you're going to be doing that this time around for the very simple reason that it's just not the time to do it. You need to be looking at Ireland. If any of these players has a really good time, you might very well be on that side to Ireland.
So Yash Dhul already has had a great 2 matches in the Emerging Asia Cup. You've also had Abhishek Sharma also. Remember, Yash Dhul hit a century. Abhishek Sharma hit an 87. Harshit Rana took 4 wickets. Nishant Sindhu's taken 4 wickets. So these are the 4 players who already made an impact. So if they do well against Pakistan, they will grab the maximum attention in that as well. And remember, semi-finals, and if they make it to the final, and if
Could
it is
very well
against
be India,
Pakistan,
yes.
so that is where we are potentially seeing two matches, one now and potentially the final of the ACC Emerging Cup against Pakistan. But in the main Asia Cup, you're going to see potentially three matches.
Yeah, two are fixed.
Two, yeah, I mean, provided India is an absolute disaster and gets knocked out in the
First group,
stages,
two are assured.
two are assured. Pakistan, India, Nepal. They are assured. So that's why in this group also you saw Pakistan, India, Nepal, UAE. So India had dominant performances against UAE and Nepal. But now the major test is against Pakistan. So September 2 and September 10, main Asia Cup. Here you may see today and the final that happens in the next week, by the end of this week. So India will be bowling first. Pakistan, if simple equation, whoever finishes first, they'll take on Bangladesh. Whoever finishes second will take on Sri Lanka in the semi-finals. The match is happening at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. 2 o'clock it will start. Let's see how India fares.
Yeah.
So from me and Shane here, it's thank you, bye-bye. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget to download the SportsTalk mobile app as well. Bye-bye.